Okay, so this is a very simple video about why it's important to be a creator. From my perspective, as someone who has about 61K on TikTok so far, over the past few months. A lot of what I do as a creator stems back into education. If you look at our bodies, everyone's bodies is so different and so incredibly complex. Don't you think that our brains are even more so differentiated? And I think it's important to have a lot of creators who are able to teach different concepts or like the same concepts in their own unique ways so that other people can understand them better. I think it's a huge shame when people spend so much time learning information that isn't relevant or is honestly very difficult or dry to learn. I think it's so much better when you can find someone you resonate with who shares the same worldview as you and who can explain topics of the same interest to you. For example, I focus on crypto, and I focus as someone who's honestly like a relative newcomer, but at least with a tech startup background. So a lot of times when I explain topics, it's for people primarily in that demographic, but I've also been in tech for, 3 years. So I'm also able to explain it to a more generalized audience, if that makes sense. I find that once you develop too much like expertise in a certain topic, there's too much jargon. It's too specific, and the audience is like mostly your peers. And so for me, like it's really important to be creating content because it allows me to learn how to teach and relate to people, both who like share like a very similar worldview to me, but also to help me expand like how to make things click for other people. That's honestly like a huge reason why I create content, is because one, I get to learn from teaching in several different ways. People who teach learn more than the student, people who learn more than the reader. I don't know where this quote is from, but I definitely feel very similarly about making content. Also, it kind of like for those who are currently in school, your teacher might have said, oh, like don't copy, paraphrase in your own words and you like change a few words or whatever, which honestly gives me like a lot of beef about formal education. I think like if the projects were more interesting, it wouldn't be a challenge, like teach the concepts you've learned in your own words. And so another reason why I like being a content creator is because I learn things, and to prove that I've actually learned it to myself, I have to teach it in a unique and novel way for other people to learn. I hope by bringing like a new explanation into the world, people can find joy in like topics that previously weren't interested in them or something they want to learn but couldn't really understand. I went to like a coding boot camp for 8 months and I just did not get it. I simply did not get it. But you know who got it? It was a lot of dudes. A lot of dudes who got it, a lot of dudes like of a particular demographic, and like no sexism or racism here. It's just like, I think the content that was written for like a lot of programming languages is like geared towards people who are able to understand it, and their brains are shaped in a way that was like explained by someone who was like a very similar brain shape or whatever. This sounds like racist or like sexist. I don't mean it to sound like that. But what I'm saying is like if the content was delivered in a way that Ariana Grande would explain it or Cardi B would explain it, I think I would have been an amazing programmer. And so that's why also I want to be a creator. It's just specifically about crypto. I hope other people who want to learn about crypto don't feel like blocked by the fact that they don't understand things in a certain way. I hope to bring like those new explanations so that people can understand and like make it their own and like bring more diversity of thought into this space. I think also generally like as a content creator, you have to learn all the time to bring something new to your audience. It's not like groundbreaking research or anything like that, but that sort of like joy of discovering and making something definitely reignited my love for learning. And that's something that definitely was kind of beaten out of me when I was in more formal education, like in school, because it's like rote memorization, just like doing enough to get the task done within like certain defined parameters. But when you're making content, it's like the sum of your experiences, your skills, the people that you know. It's like the sum of all your experiences to craft this sort of product, this sort of content for other people. And that's a gift into the world, and it's a gift as long as it's useful. It's also my opinion, which is why as like a creator you have to continuously like hone your craft and seek feedback and make sure that other people are gaining value from it. So yeah, I think my view on creation is not so much like fun, entertaining creation, if that makes sense. Although like try to put that tilt in, but my view on creation is just that it democratizes education for people who previously wouldn't have understood more dry technical content, for people who lead much more vivacious lives who would not stand dry technical content. So like, I'm gonna go off on a tangent here, but for example, I thought about this a bit. I was like, you know, if I was a lot prettier, I would definitely be a model. Like, I would definitely be a bar girl. I would definitely be in real estate or something like that. There's like certain careers and opportunities that notice you for your looks, and you can use your looks to leverage yourself into like a better situation in your life. But because I'm not that level, and it's like, objectively speaking, I've definitely had to rely on my brain and my personality more. And so parlaying that concept into the people who can withstand dry technical content and learning for a specific career may not have like such joy in more creative areas, you know, like not saying like people who are more technical aren't creative. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying the people who are able to make use of the current content, the current education to become, say, like a software engineer, or to become civil engineer, or become anything dealing with like info or like just boring stuff. They were the ones who were able to withstand that sort of stretches of time with like very little dopamine hits, if that makes sense. Or their brains wired to receive that sort of dopamine. If you were like a banger artist, it's unlikely that you would pursue that path. But if you were a banger artist and another person who was slightly more creative but also was able to explain the technical parts to you but in a creative way that your banger artist brain could understand, you could be producing something that was not just music or paint or art, but like bring over your design skills into a product, like a software product, or into a community that's like taking you to the next level that no one else could have done. This point may not be entirely clear, but what I'm just saying is just like the faster we get people to understand concepts, the faster we can shorten that loop, that gap between like not understanding to understanding, the more interesting and innovative products and experiences we'll have in this world, if that makes sense. So I just think like if people don't waste their time studying stuff and like trying to understand something, and they like get it as soon as possible, they just get to live more of their life. So that's my thesis on why it's important to create content. Highly encourage everyone to create content. It's kind of like a portfolio of your work, and people feel so much closer to you if they can see how you talk, how you react, you speak, and just understand your thought process and get them on the path of trusting you. So I highly encourage anyone who's thinking about being a content creator, just start making some content. I know it's really scary. I don't think I felt like not embarrassed by my TikTok until I hit 7K. And then within the next couple of days, I hit 10K. But up until 7K, I was like very embarrassed of it, just because of like a lack of followers. I wasn't proud of like the current skill set that I had, but that was my current skill set. And I didn't feel like an expert on the content that I was making or in my editing skills. But it's okay, because once I started getting more followers, once I could see myself consistently shipping new content and posting and having the feedback loop of people giving me comments on how to improve or what they like or what they don't like, it got a lot easier. So yeah, get started. I tried to be a YouTuber fail for like 3 years or so before making my TikTok channel, and I had like 5 different TikTok accounts before making this one successful to over 60K TikTok followers in less than 6 months. So there's a lot of work that goes into it, but there could also not be if you just get started right now. So I hope everyone becomes a content creator. Well, not everyone, but like I hope people who are interested at least try their hand at it and discover what you like or what you don't like. So anyways, this channel is going to talk more about crypto, about content, about the crypto industry. So follow if you want to stay tuned, and let's get to 1 million subscribers by the end of the year.